Alexandra was reading Henrietta's manuscript. "This," she said, pointing with her finger, "is inane." Henrietta got up and looked over Alexandra's shoulder at the sentence. "Yes," she said, "I prefer the inane sometimes. The ain is often inutile to the artist." There was a moment of contemplation. "I've been offered 1,000 florins for it," Henrietta said. "The Dutch rights." "How much is that in our money?" $266. "Let's babble," Alexandra said, and took her friend in her arms. Henrietta said, "Once I was a young girl, very much like any other young girl, interested in the same things. I was exemplary. I was told what I was, that is to say, a young girl, and I knew what I was, because I had been told, and because there were other young girls all around me who had been told the same things, and knew the same things, and looking at them and hearing again in my head the things I had been told, I knew what a young girl was. We had all been told the same things. I had not been told, for example, that some wine was piss and some not, and I had not been told other things. Still, I had been told a great many things, all very useful, but I had not been told that I was going to die in any way that would allow me to realize that I really was going to die, and that it would all be over then, and that this was all there was, and that I had damned well better make the most of it. That I discovered for myself, and covered with shame and shit as I was, I made the most of it. Alexandra had a special devotion to the Sacred Heart. Theories of the Sacred Heart. Loss and recovery of the Sacred Heart. Conflicting claims of the great cathedrals. The Sacred Heart in contemporary iconography. Appearance of spurious Sacred Hearts and how they may be distinguished from the true one. Location of the true Sacred Heart revealed. How the Abbé Saint-Germain preserved the true Sacred Heart from the hands of the barbarians. Why the Sacred Heart is frequently represented surmounted by a crown of thorns. Meaning of the tiny tongue of flame. Orders and ceremonies in the veneration of the Sacred Heart. Role of the Sacred Heart Society in the veneration of the Sacred Heart. Alexandra was also a member of the Knights of St. Dibna, patroness of the insane. As a designer of artificial ruins, Alexandra was well known. She designed ruins in the manners of Langley, Effner, Robert Adam, and Carlo Martoni, as well as her own manner. She was working on a ruin. Henrietta said, "Now I am mature. In maturity, I found a rich world beyond the pale, and found it possible to live in that world with a degree of enthusiasm. My mother says I am deluded, but I've stopped talking to my mother. My father is dead, and thus has no opinion." Alexandra continues to heap up indulgences by exclaiming Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, which is worth an indulgence of 50 days each time it is exclaimed. Some of the choicer ejaculations are worth 7 years and 7 quarantines, and these she pursues with the innocent cupidity of the small investors. She keeps her totals in a book. I love her. She has to date worked off 18,000 years in the flames of purgatory. I tell her that the whole thing is a shuck, but she refuses to consider my views on this point. Alexandra is immature in that she thinks she will live forever, live after she is dead at the right hand of God in His glory, with His power and His angels and His whatnot, and I cannot persuade her otherwise. Joseph Conrad will live forever, but Alexandra will not. I love her. Now we are going out.